Hail the queens.
You should see me in a crowd.
I'd say this series is a totally fresh take on natural history that is really going to compel audiences to understand a little bit more about how females rule the natural world.
Wow, I've worked in wildlife filmmaking for nearly 30 years now, and this project's the most special one for me. It's a passion project. I think to actually have got to a place where we've made such a genuinely innovative series that's fresh in so many ways. It's got new storytelling, new content, the music's different, the tone's different, but we've also made it totally differently with a female-led team that's never been done before, and created a new way of working and fledged a whole new generation of female filmmakers. For me, as someone that came up without any women around me, looking up constantly for the role model, my female leader, to try and aspire to, finally I think we've kind of bucked the trend and flipped the narrative. So it's a really special moment, and I'm delighted the whole world will get to see it.
So when we were making these natural history films, we're filming real animals, real behavior, where there's nothing that is visual effects, CGI, nothing like that. It's actual real animals. So that takes time. And there's 6 natural history episodes, and I forget how many species in total, but I mean these are real animals, and we're trying to capture their life cycles and the things they're going through all the different seasons and series. So because of that takes time. There's no way you can truncate that to something shorter. And then in addition to that, once you've filmed as much as you can, then you go into the edit. And then remember, you've been filming for 3-4 years. Yeah. So it's going to take time to go through all that footage and to cut it together. And then you bring in the team from National Geographic to look over everything. So to accommodate everything so it fits properly and we tell the true stories that we truly want to tell, it takes time. I think it's a beauty when you're working on something that takes so long to make. Yeah. I would have never made that jump if this was a 6-month project, but when it spans over 4 years, you can go from the field director to producer director. Yeah. And when you have support from mentors like Sophie.
Well, I mean, I think the most important thing was establishing the sonic world with Chloe prior to working on each episode. So we would kind of establish a palette. So it's like, are we using synthesizers? Are we using voices? Are we using a little bit of orchestra? And then, frankly, they just kind of let me run free, which is a real luxury. And I've never had the opportunity to really do that before. Because when people say go wild, you're like, Dad, do you really want me to go wild? I'm not so sure about that. But they really let me do that.
It was transformative.
You know when a queen walks into a room and opens her mouth, because I think she read the first line in a voiceover and we knew she was going to be amazing. And she's the executive producer. She's been very involved in the project. We knew she was going to be phenomenal. But she did that first line, we just looked at each other and went...
Yeah, she just lifted it to another realm. And when you watch her, she's such a brilliant actress. She uses her body. She's incredibly physical. So she was literally connecting to the animals on screen as she spoke, and every line came alive. But also in between, she would be in a very kind of human way going, damn, why is she messing with that dude? Just tell him no, he's no good for you, girl. And it was just so much fun because she was the queen. She is the queen, but she's also very human, very relatable. Something that really I found very powerful, and it's very interesting that men and women watch these shows and you see different people crying or laughing at different things. And there's always one thing that really gets to somebody. And there was a moment in the Gelada film, in the Mountains episode, where you see an older Gelada queen who has to make the most horrendous decision. She basically has to put the life of her unborn baby at risk, to give her daughter the opportunity to have her own family. And I think so many people, men and women, can understand that sort of that push and that pull of you've got to kind of be a leader, you've got to kind of keep your whole bigger family safe, but also you've got the pushes and pulls of being a parent and the compromises and dilemmas that you have to make in doing that.
I think for me, you know, the incredible thing has been seeing how varied female leadership is and the forms it takes. And a lot of it is about friendship and resilience and sisterhood. But also seeing those hyenas in that first episode, African Queens, and the infanticide when the baby hyena is killed for political gain. Whoo! I mean, I think everyone will be grateful that we don't show actually what we filmed that day, because it was brutal, but it was amazing to have a front side seat to the cunning and the clever and the manipulation and the politics behind that moment. Blew me away. It really did.
I had the privilege of spending so much time with elephants.
Yeah.
And you can't help but connect, because when you're sitting in a vehicle and you're surrounded by this family,
You feel them, right?
you feel them, and then they're so similar to us, because you'll see they've got different personalities. I mean, it's one of the most amazing things, because you'll see the joker,
Yeah.
you'll see the one that annoys everyone,
Yeah.
that comes in, then everyone's like, ugh. But you connect, because you see them also going through their daily struggles, and you can't help but feel empathetic. And it's not just the elephants, it's the lions, the hyenas, even the orchid bees that you're filming. You can see everyone is struggling to just make it. So you can't help but feel that connection.
And they're very human, but they're not just female. But what's interesting is obviously it's all about the female leadership in nature, and I love that it shows that females lead in very different ways. I mean, you got a hyena. She's no softie, right? I mean, she's a badass. And then you've got this gentle elephant, which we worked on together in Kenya, and that thing that there is, it's a real instinct and a gut thing.
I really hope that people look at it and just get excited about the natural world in a different way. They look at these stories and think, oh, this is something new. Like for our mother bear, when she hurt her paw, that's something where it kind of pulls at your heartstrings. You know that she's the only individual that can help these cubs survive. So it's up to her to keep going. So I hope people see these stories and it just makes them think a bit. And then that final episode, I hope there are little kids that look at it especially and go, that person looks like me on screen. I can do what she's doing, or I can go explore. I can be a park ranger, or I can be, one of the bonobo carers, or I can be a filmmaker like Faith. Like, how cool is that they'll be able to look at the screen and see someone who looks like them. Or, even little boys, they'll be able to look at the screen and see these amazing women and be proud of it. That's incredible too. It's being able to show community as a whole what people can do and be proud of it.
I hope that it's a way for the younger generation to connect to the natural world in a way that they maybe never have had the opportunity to do so before.
Yeah, I'm going to have to echo that sentiment exactly. I think it is, it's easy to say that something feels fresh and different, but this truly does feel fresh and different.
Well, I hope this is a film about female leadership, but it's not a film just for women. I think the themes are and the characters are very relatable. The themes are very relatable. It's still high drama and it's still high emotion, and I really hope that it'll appeal to guys too. And we had some amazing men working on this series with us. But there are so many firsts in it. I think we're used to seeing natural history focus on the big fights and the hunts and the flowing manes and the big teeth and the kind of show, and we purposely wanted to move away from that and say, but what's really going on here? What's the nuanced behaviour? What's going on behind the scenes? What are these females up to? And I think the stakes, the drama, the heart, we hope everyone will be crying, because these stories they're real drama narratives. They're really relatable, and we hope that people watch it and go, oh, I know her, or I've been there, or I understand that. And in that way we'll appeal to a much broader audience. I really think this is not, natural history purists will love this series, but we haven't made it for them.
Yeah.
We've made it for everyone.
For Queens, I really want them to take everything I get and we get when we're watching. There's an amazing moment where Faith talks at the end of Behind the Queens, where she says, if I can get people to feel the emotion I feel right now, then we're one. And that's something we all share throughout the series. So when I'm filming, I'm a cinematographer. I was one of the director of photography. And when I'm filming something, if I can capture that emotion of that mother elephant defending her baby elephant against a hyena, and the feelings I was feeling then, and transmit that to the audience, then we're winning, because we make people care, and that's what we want to do. We want people to care about the natural world.